There's a doctor in Chicago earning $380,000 a year. But for all practical purposes, she is effectively bankrupt. She drives a high-end, leased Porsche. Her 2 children attend private schools costing $40,000 each per year. And her mortgage on a suburban mansion is a monthly monster that consumes nearly 40% of her take-home pay. On paper, she belongs to the global elite. In reality, she is exactly one missed paycheck away from total financial disaster. If she had an emergency that required just $5,000 in cash today, she couldn't find it without selling something or swiping a credit card. This isn't a hypothetical story or an isolated case. According to a 2025 report from a leading global financial firm, 41% of individuals earning between $300,000 and $500,000 a year report living paycheck to paycheck. Think about that for a second. These are people in the top 5% of income earners, yet they experience the same financial anxiety as someone earning a fraction of their salary. This is what we call the high-income poverty trap. Most people spend their entire lives believing that their financial problems are a result of a lack of income. They think, if I just made 20% more, I'd finally be safe. But the data tells a completely different story. The truth is, your brain is biologically hardwired to spend every single dollar you earn, unless you intervene with a deliberate strategy. As your income increases, your expectations and your baseline for what is considered a normal life rise right along with it. This invisible psychological force is known as lifestyle inflation, and it is the single most dangerous predator of wealth in the modern world. Today, we are going to perform a surgical audit on this phenomenon. We'll look at why high earners stay broke, the biological mechanism behind the Ratchet Effect, and the 3 psychological circuit breakers you must install in 2026 to ensure you aren't just earning more, but actually keeping more. To defeat the high-income poverty trap, you first have to understand the Ratchet Effect. In mechanics, a ratchet is a device that allows motion in only one direction while preventing any backward movement. Your lifestyle works exactly the same way. When you get that first major promotion and move from a $15 lunch to a $25 lunch, or from a Honda to a BMW, your brain treats that upgrade as a permanent victory. The luxury quickly becomes the new normal. But here's the danger. Once a luxury becomes routine, downgrading feels like a personal failure, a deprivation, or even a tragedy. Psychologists call this hedonic adaptation. We are remarkably good at getting used to better things. The thrill of the new car lasts maybe 3 months, but the 5-year payment plan lasts 60 months. This creates a terrifying dynamic where your expenses are sticky on the way up, but impossible to move on the way down. You become a prisoner of your own past success. The Chicago doctor we mentioned earlier, can't he just pull her kids out of private school or sell her mansion without feeling a massive social and emotional cost? Her lifestyle has become a fixed cost that requires her high-stress job to maintain. In 2026, this effect is being hyper-accelerated by digital exposure. We are no longer just keeping up with the Joneses next door. We are keeping up with the curated, filtered, and often fake lives of everyone on Instagram and TikTok. Every time you see a peer on a first-class vacation or unboxing a luxury watch, your brain registers a status threat. You feel like you are falling behind, and your natural reaction is to spend money to close the gap. This social pressure turns lifestyle inflation into a competitive sport where the only prize is a beautiful-looking life and an empty bank account. In the current economy, the trap is deeper than ever because consumption has become frictionless. In 2026, technology is designed to separate you from your money, before you even have a chance to think, with one-click ordering, biometric payments, and by now, pay later services embedded in every app. The barrier between a want and a purchase has vanished for the high earner who is already suffering from decision fatigue, the exhaustion that comes from making complex professional choices all day. Spending money becomes the path of least resistance. When you finish a 10-hour workday, your willpower is depleted. You don't have the energy to cook, so you use a delivery app that costs 3 times as much. You don't have the energy to research a purchase, so you buy the premium version because you deserve it for working so hard. This is the hard work paradox. The harder you work to earn money, the more likely you are to spend it. Impulsively is a form of self-medication for the stress of the work itself. You are trading your life energy for convenience items that provide zero long-term value. Let's look at the numbers. Total U.S. credit card debt hit an all-time high of $1.27 trillion recently. A significant portion of that debt isn't held by the poor trying to survive. It's held by the middle and upper middle class, trying to maintain an image. When you carry a balance on a credit card at 24% interest while earning a 6-figure salary, you aren't just paying for a lifestyle. Nia should say some you are essentially selling your future freedom to pay for a version of yourself that you think others will admire today. So, how do you break the cycle? If your brain is hardwired to spend and the world is designed to tempt you, you cannot rely on willpower. Willpower is a finite resource that fails when you are tired, hungry, or stressed. Instead, you must install psychological circuit breakers. The first and most powerful tool is the invisible raise. Every time you receive a bonus or a salary increase, you must automate the transfer of at least 50% of that new money directly into an investment account before it ever hits your checking account. If you never see the money, you won't miss it. You lock in your current lifestyle while your wealth grows in the background. The second circuit breaker is the fixed cost audit. True wealth is built or destroyed by your fixed costs, your housing, your cars, and your recurring subscriptions, not your occasional lattes. The high earners who win are those who intentionally underlive in these categories. If you earn $300,000 but live in a house that someone earning $100,000 would buy, you have created a massive margin of safety. This margin is what buys you the ability to say no to a toxic boss or to take a year off to travel. Wealth is not what you buy. Wealth is the options you have. Third, you must redefine your relationship with status. In the world of the truly wealthier, the millionaire next door type status is not found in a logo. It is found in autonomy. These are the prodigious accumulators of wealth who understand that a car is a depreciating tool and a house is a place to live, not a trophy. They ruthlessly cut spending on things that do you and to bring them genuine joy and invest aggressively in things that produce income. In 2026, the ultimate status symbol isn't a luxury watch. It has the ability to walk away from a job you hate because you need the next paycheck to survive. Let's return one last time to that doctor in Chicago. Her problem isn't that she doesn't make enough money. It's that she has optimized her life for consumption instead of freedom. If she lost her medical license tomorrow, her world would collapse in weeks. But imagine if she had spent the last 10 years following a different path. Imagine if she lived on half her income and invested the rest. She would likely have $3 to $4 million in liquid assets today, producing enough passive income to cover her expenses for the rest of her life. She would be working because she wants to, not because she has to. That is the difference between being rich and being wealthy. Rich is having a high income and a high burn rate. Wealthy is having assets that provide freedom regardless of your income. The great wealth transfer we discussed previously will only benefit those who have the discipline to keep what they receive. If you inherit $1 million but have a $5 million appetite, that money will be gone in 24 months. The high-income poverty trap is a choice we make every single day with every purchase. It's a battle between the person you want people to think you are and the person you actually want to be free, secure, and independent. Tonight, I challenge you to audit your own life. Look at your last 3 months of spending. How much of it was a ratchet move that you don't even enjoy anymore? How much of it was to impress people who aren't even thinking about you? It's time to stop the bleeding. It is time to install your circuit breakers and start building a life where your income serves your future, not your ego. If you are ready to break the trap and start your journey toward true autonomy, leave a comment saying, "Escape the trap" below. The path to $5 million isn't found in a higher salary. It's found in the boring, disciplined choices you make today. I'm your partner in growth, and I'll see you in the next story.